Hey everybody, welcome back to Leadership Unveiled. My name is Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt and I am your host. Today is day 10 of the 12 days of leadership. We are almost done with this series. I'm having fun with it. I hope you are too. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the notifications or any videos that I drop, as well as like this video so it reaches more people. I appreciate the love. We're still on track to, I want to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we're over, it's like 823 or 4 the last time I checked, so we're doing great. I'm excited. And if you're on the podcast app, just listening in the car, in the shower, on your way to work, whatever you're doing, thank you for being here. And if you haven't subscribed to the podcast yet, please do that wherever you listen. If you happen to be on Spotify, you can see the video podcast, so you can see this video. And on Spotify, there is a really cute question box that says, what did you think of this episode? And so you can scroll down and put in your comment and I will see it. So I would love it if you guys, wherever you're at, could share with me what has been your favorite day of the 12 days of leadership so far. Go back and look throughout the episodes, whether it's on the YouTube playlist or just scrolling back in your podcast app, and let me know what's been your favorite. And if you haven't followed me on Instagram at KFA Consulting or at Leadership Unveiled, I would really appreciate you do that, because after this 12-day series over, I don't want us to stop being connected. Obviously, I'll keep making episodes, but Instagram is where I can post just a little bit more frequently without having like a polished, edited video. So anyways, let's get down to it. Today, we're going to be talking about riding a bike, and not just riding a bike, but using all your gears. So it is a bike story. It is a bike analogy, but I promise it has a point. So let me start with a quote. I have this book. It's called Make the Most of You. It was one of those bargain books that you see on the shelf from Barnes & Noble, $6.98 apparently at the time. I don't remember when I bought this, but it's been a long time. Like, I don't know. It could be a decade. It could be more than that. I'm not sure. And the cover is like torn and tattered. Whenever I need inspo, I come in here. And, I just noticed that I have a page flagged. Share your smile. That's cute. So on page 168, there is a quote. Well, first there's a quote, but there's also a paragraph. So let me read the paragraph first. It says, use all your gears. Good cyclists use all of a bike's capacity. Thus, they draw the best from themselves. We can learn when to coast and when to change gears for tough climbs. If you don't change gears to suit the terrain, you'll never discover how far and how fast you can go. And then there's a quote at the bottom of the page that says, most of us have gears we never use. Charles Schulz, 1922 to 2000. Let me share with you a story. So over the last year, my husband at some point decided that he wanted to do triathlons. I'm like, okay, that's amazing. And he's like, do you want to do that with me? I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, wait, no, that's a lot of work. And actually, I think I would do it with him, but I had just had our son, Theo. And so I was like, yeah, I know. I think I'm going to ease back into life. It's cool. I'm going to ease back into my fitness routine. So you do the triathlons this year. Maybe I'll do with you next year. So anyways, he is already a runner. He can swim at our community center. But then when the spring came around, he's like, I don't have a bike. Like, we have mountain bikes and everything like that, but he didn't have a cycling bike. So if any of you are familiar with those, like, they're very expensive. They're a few $1,000s to get a nice one. You want them made of like aluminum or carbon. It's intense. So anyways, we went to the bike shop. We looked and we were like, nope, that's a lot of money. And he's like, I don't even know if I'm going to enjoy cycling. So we ended up going on Facebook Marketplace, and I found him a bike that was like $500. And he's like, great, I can do this year, see if I like it. And then if I do, I can always upgrade if I want. I'm like, great, that's awesome. Good for you, babe. So he gets his bike, and now he starts going on bike rides when our kids go to sleep or like on his days off. And of course, like, I'm a sucker for like summer and for the fall. So it's just gorgeous. He's going for these rides. And I'm like, I want one. I want a bike. I don't want to do a triathlon, but I want a bike, right? So I went on Marketplace and I found one too. And it was kind of cool. I actually bought it from a nurse manager from another healthcare system. And she's like, I haven't used it. I've only ridden it a few times, so you might as well get some use out of it. And it ended up being a teal, like aqua color, which is, my brand, my color. So I was really happy and excited about that. So my husband, he's been going for bike rides for a few weeks now. He's figured out how to use all of the gears in his bike, right? So if you're familiar with like professional cycling bikes, I'm not going to use the right terminology here, but there's like, if you imagine a bike, handlebars, there's like brakes that you can do just by like squeezing the levers, whatever you want to call them, right? And then there's like side brakes that are like the brakes go down, and then there's also like I don't even know, front brakes, I guess. So there's like 3 different ways on my bike at least to brake. Okay, and then there's like 20 plus gears that you can shift to. So of course my husband's been experienced riding his bike. He's also an avid researcher, so he's like knows left or right hand shifts up or down and all of that. And I go for a ride with him and I'm just like winging it because that's me. I'm just like, I don't know, I didn't do any research. I'll just keep changing gears until it feels right. And so I didn't realize this, but if you've watched professional bikers, you're just like, wow, that's amazing. But you don't realize that there's so many gears involved and you do really need to shift in order to be successful. So if you're going up a hill and you don't have enough resistance, it's going to take you forever to get up. But also if you have too much resistance, that your gears are not correct, then it will be draining on so much of your energy and you won't have any left for later in the course. Same thing when you're going down a hill. You don't want to be pedaling because you're going to be pedaling so fast, like there's zero resistance as you're going down a hill. So you just coast until you hit that sweet spot at the bottom of the hill, when then you can start pedaling and feeling that resistance and then keep going. And when you're going down a hill, you kind of want to lean forward to get the best aerodynamics, so you keep going quicker and you go longer without having to pedal, right? So use less energy at the same time. So this made sense to me because my husband did. I also ran cross country in high school. So like they would say like really short, quick steps to go up a hill and then like longer strides down a hill. So it's like use more energy and then use less energy and like use gravity basically to go down the hill. So this is so interesting to me. On my bike, my husband's got his science down, right? He's like shifting when he needs to properly. And then I'm over here like shifting just until it feels right. And then there's several times where the chain would just like come right off because I had shifted too far down. And he's like, yeah, you can't shift that far. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just just making it up as I go. But I learned and I got better over time. And so just to circle it back to leadership professionalism in your career, you do have to use different gears, because if you just try to operate in one mode, like your entire career, even your entire day, like that won't be effective for whatever you're working on in the moment. It might work in one area, but it might not work in every area. And similarly, if you only have like one gear or one hat that you wear, you might also feel like you're not using your full self, or you're not able to feel like you're in full alignment with who you are and be able to use all your skills and strengths. So as leaders, as we're trying to help other people grow themselves and grow the next generation of professionals, we also want to pay attention to like, hey, what skills are you not able to use right now that you wish you were? So I have my notebook here. I just started jotting down like what gears, like what do I shift to throughout the day? And so I have my creativity gear, which when I'm not using that gear, sometimes I feel like I'm like it's like work is a little lackluster. Like I am a creative person. If you were to look around my office right now, over there I have like tons of art supplies. I just bought a polymer clay earring set. Like I'm a maker. I love to experiment. And same thing with the shifting with the gears. Like I would rather learn through experience instead of research. So it's interesting. Obviously I can do both, but that's kind of my default. So creativity is really important to me, switching into that gear. There's also gears where I have to be the course charter as a leader, like kind of being the visionary, setting the vision, being strategic. But there's also a gear where I just have to be the team member, where I'm in the group and contributing equally, and I am not like out, in front or even next to someone bringing them with me. I'm just on the team together. There's also a gear where maybe I'm listening more than anything else, where I'm just like gathering information, looking around, like taking in everything and just absorbing and learning. And there are gears where I'm more taking action. I'm like, okay, I've made a decision. We need to move forward. This is the course that we're going to chart. I made a little list. Like if you were to think of the different gears or hats that you need to wear during your work to be successful or to feel like you're using your whole self, what would they be? So somewhat other ones I haven't listed yet would include like humor. Maybe you're more of a nerd, like a brainiac, right? I love that. I'm a scientist. I get that. So maybe you need to be using your logical gear often? What about your heart gear? Like maybe you are somebody who feels really strongly and you need to have like that compassion or empathy in your work. I don't know if I said humor, but humor gear. Like, do you like to bring lightheartedness to your work and find humor and joy during the day? Lots of smiling during the day. Does that fuel you? Are you somebody who needs to, like I said, have more data, like a data gear where you're just like crunching numbers all the time? So what are the modes that you flip back and forth to? And what would it feel like if you were to have all of those in your career or in your profession? So some people will tell me like, oh, I don't know if this job's a good fit. And I've definitely been there where I'm thinking about that. And the first thing I think about is, are all of the parts of me being fulfilled every day? And you know what? It's actually okay if not everything is fulfilled by your job. That's why we have to have creative hobbies like polymer clay earring making or oil painting or whatnot. But it does work well when different gears of you, most of them do appear in your career or work, because then you're like, okay, yeah, this feels like me. Like coming to work should feel like you're free rather than you're trapped. At least that's my goal, right? When I show up, I want to feel like, yeah, I can be the real me versus like, I have to put on a face and fake it. And I know a lot of us can feel like that sometimes, especially when we're trying to reach a goal or reach an achievement. But really think about when you have all your gears on, you don't have to hide. Like you can just be yourself, because the true you will come out if you're able to experience your full self. So I've used this before. I've said things like multi-passionate. Some people say like hyphenated leader or entrepreneur, whatever you want to say. I think a lot of people who are in leadership positions do end up having lots of different things they care about. So how can you incorporate that into your day so that you feel like a whole human? And like Charles Schultz said, most of us have gears that we never use. So can you explore a little bit more? Can you think about like what is missing, or what gear am I stuck in? Like, is the gear I'm in working right now, or do I need to shift? Like, what if I'm pushing so hard right now, and if I just shifted down a little bit, like, wow, that feels easier. So how could you shift your gears to make something feel lighter or easier for you? Or maybe you're like, this is go time, Kayla. Like, I gotta go. I gotta shift high. I gotta shift up. I'm talking like I know what I'm how to ride a bike. But yeah, maybe you need more resistance so you can just plow forward because you have a big destiny and destination that you're going to, right? So different types of gears and shifting and coasting depending on, the culture of your work, whatever's going on with your projects, with you. So I just wanted to introduce this concept of gears. We're switching often. Sometimes we need more gears to feel like we're fulfilled. Maybe we're in a gear that's too high and we need to take it back a notch so it feels easier. Maybe we've been coasting and we're like, you know what? It's time to, kick it up a notch. So where are you at? We're all in different places, and that's okay. All right, everybody, I hope this was helpful, a little less tangible, a little bit more philosophical for you today. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, make sure that you're listening for tomorrow because it's going to be day 11 already, and I have a big announcement to share for the next couple days of the 12 days of leadership, and I don't want you to miss out. All right, talk to you soon and see you tomorrow.